Hey everybody, still here. So today we are going to get a tutorial on how to remove rust off of sheet metal, okay? So I have a couple items out here in the street on the dirt. We're gonna do this in the dirt so we don't ruin our concrete, which I'll explain to you why. Basically we have over here is a trunk lid off of my old SS Chevelle that was done in lacquer. And the California sun ate it up and cracked it, and water got inside of it, absorbed water, and it cracked. That's what we ended up with, okay? The stripes are etched in rust, basically. Pretty heavy duty, as a matter of fact. Rust is not no big deal, but the stripes are pretty bad. Over here, we have a Bronco roof off a baby Bronco, 69 Bronco, I guess it is. It had some pretty heavy rust on the top of it. So, rust on sheet metal. Well, in California for sure. We get the paint cracking, and we get what's called surface rust, okay? Unless it's been, ignored and in an area where it's near the beach, it's normally just on the surface. So what we do is we get rid of that surface rust and go from there, okay? We do all our work on top of that. But to do that, you have different ways of prepping the sheet metal to get rid of the rust. One is sandblasting. Sandblast trunk lid, you're gonna ruin it. Sorry. Sandblast the roof, you're gonna ruin it. Sorry, it doesn't happen. I don't care how good you are, okay? Maybe you've got here a little tiny little thing going and take you 6 days. Screw that shit, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna hit with muriatic acid, okay? Big boy stuff. However, okay, it is dangerous. Hence the word acid, okay? So you need to take some precautions. So what I'm going to show you is what you're going to need to do it with, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do it, and so you can do your own cars. I have done complete cars, okay, with this stuff, and not a big deal. You just have to know how to do it, okay, and where to do it, and how fast and how much you can do at a time, okay? You can't do a whole car at one time. It doesn't work, okay? You have to do sections. Finish the section, treat the section, sand the section, seal the section, then you move on, okay? You can't do the whole thing at one time. These small items here, the roof is pushing it, okay? But the trunk lid, no big deal, okay? We're gonna do that, okay? It's June. In California, we have what's called June gloom. It's nice and cloudy out, perfect time to do it. Otherwise, you don't wanna be out there and doing this in the sun. You don't be doing it in the wind, okay? If it's windy out, the wind's gonna blow it into your face, okay? You're gonna need some safety items. You're gonna need a face mask, full face mask, with charcoal liners, not this little paper stuff, okay? You need like a paint mask, okay? Otherwise, you breathe stuff in, it's gonna burn you up. Not good, all right? You're gonna need gloves, okay? If any of you guys know me and watch any of my videos, I am the worst person when it comes to safety stuff. But when it comes to this, I don't screw around, okay? Wear your gloves. It will trash your hands, okay? Your shoes, okay? If you have shoes you want to keep, you better put some plastic over them, okay? Because it's going to mess them up, okay? Because you're going to get little drips and little stuff on them. The clothes you're wearing, okay? It's going to get some little bit of stuff on it, or wear a bib, or however you want to protect yourself, okay? Eye protection, okay? I have glasses. I'm going to wear my glasses today, okay? The main thing though is gloves and a mask. At minimum, you have to be wearing a mask, okay? You can't be out here without a mask. You gotta have a mask on, man, okay? Because the fumes will come back up, and you'll know what I'm talking about. It'll knock you on your ass. It will definitely screw you up. So, here are the items. I'm gonna flip this around real quick so you can see the items we're gonna be messing with today, or we're gonna be using to do this process. All right, we got steel wool, okay? We have gloves. Not just any glove, we want some good heavy duty gloves. Otherwise, you'll end up going through them. So get the heaviest duty gloves you can. If you can, actually get the ones that your wife uses for washing the dishes to keep her hands nice, okay? A gallon of muriatic acid. It's usually sold in a 2-gallon deal, all right? We're not gonna use very much of this stuff. When you store it, you get to put it somewhere where it's not gonna be anywhere near anything that's metal, because it will seep out and it will trash whatever is around, okay? Respirator, you can see this is my old respirator. We're going to use that one up today because I'm going to toss it when we're done. And your metal prep, okay? You take this, mix it 50-50 in a squirt bottle with water, okay? And I'll show you why at the end here, okay? So those are the items you're gonna need. I'm thinking we're getting something. Oh, we need a cup and a brush, okay? So I'll get a cup and a brush, and we're gonna start brushing this stuff on, and you'll see what's gonna happen. Okay, so now that it's all covered in acid, okay, at least the worst spots, we're gonna let that work do its job. Let the acid do the work. Don't sit there trying to scrub it. You can do a little bit. That's why I have the steel wool, okay, it'll break it loose. But you don't want to be out here, okay, trying with a wire wheel or power tools. Just let the acid do the job, okay? Let the acid take care of the job, okay? It'll soften it up. It'll take all the rust off. You'll see what I mean, okay? So you can see it already is doing its job. It starts turning everything yellow. The trails are coming off here. You can see it's getting cleaner. Okay, so now I'm gonna break out with a little bit of steel wool, hit it real quick, put a coat on. Just all you gotta do is keep it wet. Keep it wet. That's the key. Keep it wet. Okay. So here we go. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put a coat over top of the worst areas of the roof real quick, and then come back over here and take care of that. All right. So I just hit the truck lid with some steel wool, number one, okay? So I'm gonna knock all this stuff loose. Whatever's loose, the fluff kind of hit it. And then put a little more muriatic acid on it. Let that muriatic acid do the work. So you see how it's starting to work. There you go. Better view of it. All these patches starting to come up. Getting a little bit better. But the hood, or the roof, how much better that is already. Okay? And I ain't scrubbed that at all yet. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna scrub that with some steel wool. There we go. Hey, Danny, give me a good squirt bottle, please. Yeah, fill it half fill it with water. Bring the hose out here too. All right, so you can see how it's going. Getting thinner and thinner. It takes a little time. You don't have to scrub with steel wool if you don't want to. Remember, the finer the steel wool, the hotter it's going to get, because that muriatic acid is actually eating at the steel wool too. So I use #1 steel wool. It works the best for me. And then we're done with it. Throw it away. Put it in the trash can, put it out. But remember, if you have anything out, that's like you had, like say I had something sandblasted, or you have some bare metal, you got a tin building, okay? Don't be working around no tin buildings, okay? Because the fumes from this will go over and attack the galvanizing on your metal building, okay? Really caustic this stuff is, and the fumes will do some serious damage, okay? So anyway, like I said, just keep it wet, like I'm doing, and you'll see how well it works. So there's a trunk lid for right now. Look at the roof already. Pretty much almost there. It's little deep spots. The trunk lid's got some pretty good pits, so it's gonna take a while to go. So in the summertime, if it's hot out, just put a cover up, work underneath the cover. You don't really want a fan going, because the fan's it'll dry your stuff out, and you want to keep it wet. So you have to keep up with that air movement. You feel a lot of air movement. So just keep it wet, and we'll keep on going. Okay.
This is Eric.
Hey, Derek.
This is the Mexican with that English name, Eric. What is it?
What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Just trying to fit in, or what? All right, so truck lid's coming along pretty good. Got about another, I don't know, half hour or so to go. You've been on it for now for probably, what, about 2 hours. And the roof for the Bronco, got a little bit left. It'll be done. So anyway, that's how you do it. So that's the first step. Okay, what we're gonna do next is I'm going to rinse it off. We're gonna scrub it, rinse it off, and then you gotta dry it really quick. You gotta have a towel there, good dry towel. You're gonna wash it, you're gonna dry it, and you're gonna blow it off. Blow it off is important. Get all that water off. And if there's any water on there, you're gonna start rusting again. So get all the water off it, get it clean, dry. The area that matters, the metal area. Don't worry about the area that's primered below. Now on the hood here, or the roof here, you saw the sides are already primered. So when we had the sides sandblasted, and I did the body work to those and primer them, and the acid won't affect that. So if you have an area below you want to keep good without getting acid on it, you get it in primer or some kind of sealer on it, so that they can't penetrate that and screw up the metal underneath that. So the roof was really the problem, and so that's what we're going to take care of, is the roof. On the trunk lid, okay, both hood the same way as the trunk lid is. I'm just doing the trunk lid for now. So it's going to isolate the piece, get it out here on the dirt, okay? Now, if you do it on concrete, this acid will roll off on the concrete. It'll eat the concrete, okay? So you use muriatic acid for cleaning concrete, and it basically etches it. So if it puddles up there, it's going to leave a mark in your concrete in your driveway, if you're going to do this in your driveway. You can do it in your driveway. There's a way to do it. It's still kind of sketchy, but it works. So what I do is I've taken old blankets and lay them down there, roll them up along the edge where you roll them up along the edge where the acid is going to drop down, and you wet them. Okay, so when it drops down, the water neutralizes that muriatic acid, and before it gets down to your concrete, or you put down plastic. Plastic works sometimes, but it ends up getting holes in it, and you end up getting leaks here and there. Okay, but if you can keep them doing it on your driveway, that's the best. Or in your garage either. You don't want to do it in your garage. You want it outside as much as possible, and don't do it in your grass. You're going to kill it. You're going to have an imprint of whatever part you did in the grass for a year, or until you dig it up and put down some metal or some dirt in there and it's not killed, okay, or ruined. All right. So anyway, don't do it on your grass. Don't do it on your fake grass either. It'll stain it. So dirt, best way to go. So or you could, like I said, if you can lay on plastic, or you can wet to keep the ground wet. But whatever rolls off, whatever, if it's like a low spot, you need to have something there that can catch that and neutralize it when it comes off, like a wet rag, wet towel, red blanket, something like that. Something that can take the amount of material you're putting on there and neutralize it, right? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and finish this up a little bit. The roof's gonna get done here in a few minutes. As you can see, let me turn it over here. It's got some dry spots where the acid is dried up. Not a big deal, okay? Where it's wet at is where it's still killing the rust. Those areas are they're a little dry. I gotta put some more acid on those. So as soon as no more yellows coming off the roof, you're pretty much done, okay? So I'm gonna get the last little spots done, and then I'm gonna rinse it, I'm gonna dry it, and then I'm gonna take the metal prep. We're gonna scrub it for 5 minutes with 50-50 mix metal prep, and keep it wet, scrub it with some Scotch-Brite for a good 5 minutes, okay? Keep it wet, scrubbing it, and rinse that off, dry that off, blow it off, okay? All nice and dry, and then you D8 with 80, and then prime it that day. You can let it sit around a little bit, but if you're better off just priming it, sealing it right then. Don't let it sit around, okay? If there's a little area you didn't get completely treated, it's gonna come back to haunt you later on. Seal it that day with some metal etching primer, okay? Direct to metal DTM type primers or sealer, okay? Epoxy sealer is the best, is what I use, all right? So the trunk lid has got a ways to go yet, so we're gonna let it keep on soaking, and we're gonna concentrate on the roof right now, okay? All right, bye now, we'll be back in a little bit. All right, as you can see, the roof is clean. The Muriatic acid is drying up, leaving the little white patches around it. So we're gonna wash all that off and make sure that the roof is acid-free, cannot have any acid on it. Then we're gonna come back while it's wet, okay, and we're gonna hit it with metal prep, 50-50 water and metal prep solution in a squirt bottle. We're gonna scrub it with that, let it sit on there for 5 minutes, scrub it again a couple times, make sure it stays on there because it's gonna etch into the metal and treat the metal, okay? Then we're gonna rinse that off. We're gonna dry that the best we can, then we're gonna blow it, okay? And then I'm gonna seal it. Same thing with the trunk lid. Let me show you the trunk lid. See, the trunk lid's all good to go. It's all cleaned off, and you know, that's it. Muriatic acid, baby. This stuff's cheap. It's like 12 bucks for 2 gallons. It'll last you forever. The key is don't put the old stuff back in there. Don't be a cheap ass and throw it back in there. Just toss it out. Okay, what you don't use, the Muriatic acid. Keep it in a space that's not going to be in where there's anything metal that's going to get screwed up. Do not keep it in your garage. Okay, you need to be out by a pool or outside someplace and something separate. Okay, once it's been opened, you don't want it inside. The ones that are closed, that's fine. But the ones that are open, don't leave them inside anywhere. Okay, because a little bit of fume will come out and it will attach itself to something and screw it up every time. So, okay, so here we go. We're gonna do the hood first, or the roof first, and then we're gonna do the trunk lid. Now, respirator ain't so important anymore because the acid is what the problem is. The metal prep is not a big deal, but stay with the gloves on because that will mess up your hands. gotta make sure that you Scotch-Brite clean off all of the acid. That's why I went back and I rinsed it, scrubbed it with Scotch-Brite, rinsed off again. So we rinsed off all the acid. Now I'm gonna metal prep it, okay? It's gotta go on for like 5 minutes. That's the step everybody leaves out. You have to do this, otherwise it won't neutralize what the acid was on there, okay? It's got to treat the metal. This is gonna treat the metal, okay?
Did?
Yeah. Do this one first. All you gotta do is knock off the color a little bit, make it so it's clean, and I'll seal it.
You already did that one with metal prep?
They're both done with metal prep.
Both, okay, all right, all right.
All right, so there it is, bare metal. So it's all cleaned up. It's like brand new. You still see the imprint from the stripes, but that's what the rest left for us. We're gonna have Danny here go ahead and hit the DA, get all the smoothness knocked down a little bit, so we can hit it with some epoxy primer, and then we'll do the body work on top of the epoxy primer. Yeah, so there it is. Got a panel you cleaned up. Sandblasting it, you ruin it. Period. Hood, ruin it. You want to clean, this is how you do it. The one iffy problem with this one is that these little holes here, where the emblems were at, and on the other side there's a little bit of rust. Those could be a problem. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna DA it, then we're gonna turn it over, and I'm gonna clean the inside with that with some water again, and then neutralize the inside with some metal prep to kind of kill that inside, because it will get some acid inside. You don't want to leave it inside the hood, okay, or trunk lid or whatever you're working on. So you don't want to leave any acid behind. Every time it will come back to haunt you if you can not get it out of there. So anyway, or you can take it down and have it stripped. They'll ruin it for you. Strip it and get all the inside out, and then you can't coat the inside of it again, and then a year and a half, 2 years later, when it gets moisture in there, it's to rust out. So that's the best way to go right there, is using muriatic acid. At the end of the day, I'm in this whole thing for maybe, I don't know, what, $5? The materials, on both these pieces, not too bad. And we spent we spent about 4 hours total on both of them, and probably could have done a little less. But anyway, there they are. This one, the trunk was pretty bad. So if you have a car, say you have a full car, it's fully rusted, top to bottom, okay? It's not, pitted heavy rust, okay? Those are a little different story, okay? Although you can still do this with pitted heavy rust, it just takes a lot longer, okay? You start from the top and you work your way down, okay? When the car is rusted, don't worry about the bottom half. Concentrate on the area you can do, okay? A 6x6 area is about the best way to go. Today, it's very cool out. It's probably 70 degrees here in California in June. Doesn't happen very often. We took advantage of it, so we're gonna take care of it now. Normally, we're doing this early in the morning or we're doing it late in the evening, okay? It's because the hotter it is, the harder it is to work with, okay? The more material you're going through. So, but if you're gonna do a whole car, and you can do that. Just remember, you don't want any acid getting inside of it, so you need to back mask the window areas so that the acid doesn't drip inside the car, and just keep the acid on the outside of the car, rolling down the car, going through the dirt, okay, or into something that will catch it so it doesn't hit your grass or your concrete. So it'll scrub asphalt also. It'll scrub asphalt too. So same thing. Don't be out in the street doing this. Your neighbors are gonna be all pissed off at you. It's got an imprint of your car out in front of your house. Like I said, you can do full cars. I did a full GTO one time, bumper to bumper, man. Okay, take them apart. Okay, it's best to take it apart and do them in pieces. But the main body shell, okay, again, you can't cut the roof off it, bring it outside and do it, put it back in. You have to do that in areas. So you do the roof, you get it all sanded, okay, or get it all treated, get it all sanded, get all your, make sure all the pits are all cleaned out, everything's all good, okay? It's super dry, okay? And then metal etching primer or sealer and put 2 or 3 coats on it and go on the next area. Leave a little line where you're finished off at, and then do a quarter panel or do the package tray down around the trunk lid, okay? But you can't, or if you have a couple people doing it, it's best. You have 2 people doing the roof, okay, is really the best way to go. But make sure you're wearing rest and you're not splattering the acid on your helper or your employee, whatever it may be. But if you want to try doing a whole car, hey man, more power to you. Try it. Okay, I like to do them in sections and then get that area done instead of being in a rush and half-assing something at the end of the day. Okay, get a certain area done and then seal it and move on to the next area. Okay, all right. So bye now. Thanks everybody. Oh, by the way, I've been really busy in the shop. I haven't been able to get back to some of the projects. I'm gonna get back on the Academy. Get back. Danny. Everybody wants to be a star.
Oh my God.
There's just 5 seconds. So anyway, I'm back on the Catamino here pretty soon. And we're starting another big deal coming up. Pretty cool. Shifting kind of what we're doing here a little bit. We're going to be doing a Kenworth cab over. RV hauler I'm building up for pulling my RV. So that's going to be pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later. Bye now. And here's the hood. Took about 3 more hours, and we busted it out to come up pretty nice and clean. As you can see, all the rust where the stripes were all came clean, and now it's just the etched metal. Looked all ready to go, brand new.